Hello, 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 love wrestling, and welcome back to another edition of the LPW show. I am your host for this edition. I am JPJ of Between Two Beards, and I am joined by the golden boy himself, Travis Williams. First and foremost, Travis, thank you for being here. How you doing tonight?
Well, thanks for having me. I'm doing all right, man. Not doing too bad. How about yourself?
I am good. Thanks for asking. I appreciate that. Yeah. I definitely want to get right into it. But first, before we start talking about what's happening at LPW 10 at the end of the month, I do want to talk about the last LPW. You were involved in a scramble match, which I personally thought was the show-stealing match of the evening. It was a great performance by everybody involved. It was a really, really fun, entertaining match. But I did want to ask, at the end of the match, we saw you kind of help Son of Irish to the back a little bit. So I wanted to kind of talk about that. I've interviewed Son of Irish on this LPW show. So I'm kind of interested to see, what that was about. Were you just trying to help out a fellow competitor? Like what was the deal of kind of helping him out towards the end of the match there and walking to
Well,
the
first
back?
off, I'll just say I appreciate the kind words about it being an entertaining match. And unfortunately for me, entertaining matches aren't really my goal, and winning is my goal. So to lose that match was a bit of a bummer. And as far as Son of Irish goes, I think a lot of people have recognized by now that I don't like a lot of people. And I don't really care if you like me or not, but something about Son of Irish, I respect him, and I don't know whether that's I see a little bit of me in him, and that's not me saying I can never do a shooting star press or anything like that, but just his desire to always perform at his best and to win, I respect that. So if he needs a hand, I got his back.
I like that. I like that. And yeah, I mean, this is about you, so we're going to talk about you. But it's been shown in the LPW history that Son of Irish fights to the end, and that is something to respect. And you are one of those people that always fights to the end too. You've been here since the beginning. We've seen you take MRB to a time limit draw. We've seen you in a triple threat title match, which I still think is the best match in the history of this company so far. Obviously, the show stealing scramble match that we just talked about. But coming up at the end of the month on November 25th, you are going for a different championship. You are going for the LPW Challenge Championship. And we'll talk about your opponent, Mitch Clarke, the champion, in a minute. But for you, I know you said you're about winning. What would it mean to you to bring home some Love Pro Wrestling gold? I know you had the title match, the triple threat ladder match that you came up just short at, but it was a fantastic match, a valiant effort. But when you look at that LPW Challenge Championship, what does it mean to you to kind of break through and get that gold and leave? What would it mean to you to leave LPW 10 with some championship gold?
Well, the thing is exactly that, is that I've had competitive matches over and over again, and I've come so close to that gold. I've literally tasted it; it's been at my fingertips. So to not get it, it honestly it pisses me off a little bit. So my mindset as far as going into this one with that LPW Challenger Championship, my only goal is to get that championship, is to win, to become champion. Finally, after all this time in LPW, all the work I put in, and every time I show up, I show out, and expect no different. So Mitch Clarke, it ain't personal, but when it's you and me in there, it will be.
And I was going to ask, obviously LPW is a growing brand. For anybody that this might be the first LPW show they're seeing or one of the early LPW shows, if you want them to know one thing about the Golden Boy, one thing about yourself, Travis Williams, what do you have to say to somebody who might be tuning in for the first time on November 25th when they see you walk in there to challenge for that title? What do you want the fans of LPW to know about the Golden Boy, Travis Williams?
I'll say this. I don't care what you know. I don't care what you think. But by the end of the match, you'll know exactly who I am, and you'll respect me. Because if I can make a promise, and if anything else, it's a promise to myself, I will be walking out of that match as champion.
I love it. I love the confidence. And I know you addressed Mitch a little bit earlier, but I will leave our last question on this edition of the LPW show. Is there anything you want to say to Mitch Clarke right now? I know you said it won't be personal, but is there anything else you want to say to him, what he should be preparing for when he's going to step in the ring with you on November 25th and defend his LPW Challenge Championship?
Well, I know Mitch is a hell of a competitor. I've seen what he can do. I know what he can do. He's a beast in there. But I just hope he knows what he's getting himself into. And I hope he studies his tapes and he watches his play-by-plays, because what I'm bringing is something that he's never experienced in a wrestling ring before. And I'll leave it at that.
I love it. You heard it here first. Friday, November 25th, the last show of 2022 for us here at LPW. It will be LPW 10, Appetite for Wrestling, and it will be my guest, the Golden Boy, Travis Williams, going after the LPW Challenge Championship against the current champion, Mitch Clarke. Travis, thank you again for joining me, and good luck on November 25th.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.